Chapter 11: How Great Gains Are Realized. Though it may seem paradoxical, nevertheless it is true that the man who works for himself alone is not working for himself alone. For the fact is that the more you are concerned about your own personal gain, the less you will accomplish, and the less you accomplish, the less you gain. Great gains come through great achievements, but great achievements do not come through the mind that has no higher goal than the working out of a mere personal aim. The man who works for a great idea, even to the extent of forgetting personal gain, is doing more to promote personal gain than he could possibly do in any other manner. On the other hand, the man who works for a great idea solely because he knows he will secure personal gain, thereby is not working exclusively for his own gain. His own gain may be his original purpose. Nevertheless, before he goes very far, he will find himself promoting the gain of the entire race. Proceed with a great idea in view, and you will do more for yourself than you could do through any other course. But in any case, what you are doing for yourself will be insignificant compared with what you are doing for the race. Therefore, no person can be called selfish who is promoting a great purpose in the world. Though his personal gain may be large, still he is giving more to the world in proportion to his gain than any other person whose purpose in life is of a lesser degree. The man who carries out a great idea benefits everybody, therefore does not work solely for himself. But the man who has no other aim than to get something for himself does not benefit anyone, not even himself. And the reason why is found in the fact that when you are working solely for yourself, you are facing in action only a very small part of yourself. Work for a great idea, and you arouse great ideas in your own mind. Great ideas produce great thoughts, and great thoughts produce great men. Therefore, the man who thinks great thoughts must necessarily become a greater man. And the simplest way for anyone to form the habit of thinking great thoughts is to work for a great idea. When you work simply for yourself or for your own personal gain, your mind will seldom rise above the limitations of the undeveloped personal life. But when you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thoughts break bounds, your mind transcends limitations, your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new world, a great world, a wonderful world. Dormant powers, faculties, and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a larger man by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. Whatever your present work may be, have some great purpose in view. Never permit yourself to settle down to mere prosaic existence. Dream of extraordinary attainments and do all you can, both physically and mentally, to move forward now toward that superior goal that your visions have revealed to your mind. Never be dissatisfied with temporary conditions in the present, and do not resist what appears to be fate, but do follow the light of the greater vision, no matter where it may seem to lead. When you are so situated that there seems to be no opportunity for advancement, do not imagine that nothing but an ordinary life is in store for you. Have a great idea in view. Think of it, dream of it, work for it, live for it. Enter so completely into the superior world of that great idea that all your thoughts become extraordinary thoughts. Gradually, you will grow into the likeness of the great thoughts you think, and ere long you will become so large that you will break the shell of your present limitations. Then you will find yourself in a new world where opportunities are so rich and so numerous that you cannot possibly use them all. There are worlds and worlds of opportunities all about us that are waiting for men and women who are sufficiently competent to take advantage of them. Therefore, make yourself a little larger than you are, and you will receive 1,000 welcomes from those worlds. But first, you must begin to think great thoughts. And great thoughts can originate only in that mind that lives for something infinitely larger than the personal self. You cannot bring out the greatness within you unless your purpose in life is so large, so vast, and so immense that all elements of your being are drawn irresistibly toward the supreme heights of unequaled attainment. The present may seem to hold nothing in store for you, but that need not concern you in the least. Work for a great idea. If you cannot work for it in the real, work for it in the ideal. But do work for the greatest ideal that you can possibly picture, and work for it in every moment of your existence. You will thereby enlarge, expand, and develop your mind constantly, and ere long you will find yourself in the company of those who have been chosen for greater things. No matter how empty the present may seem to be, there is a way out, and to find the way out, simply follow the light of some great idea. To work for a great idea is to work yourself up toward the greater, the larger, and the superior in all things. And you will not continue this upward movement very long before you enter the great world of opportunities. Then you may choose what you would do, where you would go, and what kind of life you prefer to live. The drawing power of a great idea is irresistible. Place yourself in the strong current of this power, and you will positively move toward greater and better things. To think great thoughts occasionally, however, is not sufficient. Every mind has moments when consciousness soars to empyrean realms, but those moments are not numerous in the average mind, and in most instances, they are purely sentimental. They are not inspired by some great purpose or some extraordinary project that we have resolved to carry out. Therefore, they do not awaken the greatness that is within us, nor do they call forth the limitless powers that are latent in the superior nature of man. To produce the results we have in view, our great thoughts must be in the majority, and they must be animated with a deep, strong desire to reach the very highest heights that the mind can possibly picture. We are not thinking great thoughts unless we are thinking the greatest thoughts that we possibly can create, and we are not working for a great idea unless we are working for the greatest idea that the most lofty moments of the mind can possibly reveal. We may now be engaged in a great work. We may now be connected with a great enterprise where opportunities for advancement are very large and very numerous. But that is no reason why we should be satisfied to keep our minds in the circumference of that enterprise. In fact, no matter how large the world in which you may be living now, if you wish to expand and develop your mind, you must fix your attention upon a still greater world, no matter how large your present opportunities may be. If you wish to become a greater man than you are, you must work for a far greater purpose than that which your present opportunities can possibly contain. Wherever you are, in a small world or a large world, have something greater still, and you will invariably rise in the scale. Do not be content to continue as you are, even though you have gained all your wants, because beyond what appears to be everything worthwhile to you, there is more, and this more is for you. When you are working for a great idea, everything that comes to you as a natural product of that great idea is your own, no matter how much of it may be. You have not deprived anyone of anything through your efforts. Besides, what you are gaining, others may gain in the same way. The riches of the universe are limitless, and any mind that begins to work for greater things will soon work up into greater things, and the world of greater things, there is always abundance. Quantity is unlimited, quality is unsurpassed, and perpetual increase is the law. Realizing these facts, do not work simply for yourself. Work also for the greatest idea your mind can possibly picture. You will thereby scale the heights, and in consequence, will do more for yourself than you could possibly do in any other manner. In addition, you will add immeasurably to the welfare of the world. In this same connection, there is another idea that should be noted and applied with care, and it is the correct idea concerning the minding of one's own business. To succeed in any business, it is necessary to mind that business properly. But no man can mind his own business properly so long as he minds no business save his own. He who knows nothing but his own specialty does not know his own specialty. And he who finds interest in one thing only has too small a mind to know what the one thing really is. The larger and broader your mind, the better you can care for your own business. And to broaden your mind, be interested in the progress of all good business. Do not divide your attention nor scatter your forces, but live in that lofty mental world where you can have a comprehensive view of all things at all times. The small, narrow, submerged mind can see nothing but his own, therefore fails to do much with his own because every part depends more or less upon the whole. The large mind, however, can grasp the elements of everything that is conducive to growth, advancement, and success, and naturally incorporates those elements in his own special work. The man who would succeed in the largest and the best sense must enter into the consciousness of universal success. That is, he must place himself in touch with everything that does succeed, and must enter into the life of that power that is back of every successful enterprise. But he cannot do this unless he takes an active interest in the best and the largest success of everybody. To take a real interest in the success of everybody is to develop a strong desire for the success of everybody. And the stronger our desire for the success of others, the stronger becomes that power that produces success in ourselves. There are few things that are more potent in the awakening of power than that of a strong desire for the results of that power. Therefore, a strong and constant desire for the greatest possible success for everybody will naturally develop in ourselves the largest measure of that power that makes for a great success. When we mind nothing but our own business, we call into action only a small part of the mind. But when we take a living interest in all business, we call into action practically every part of the mind. New power is thus awakened, and if our concentration is good, we can turn all that new power unto our special work, thus adding remarkably to our actual working capacity. It is therefore profitable in a certain sense to mind everybody's business, that is, to keep your mind in sympathetic touch with everybody's business. But it is not only profitable, it is the mark of real manhood. To be deeply interested in the welfare of others is an indication of superiority, and to give a great deal of thought to the promotion of the welfare of others is a means toward the development of superiority. The man who minds his own business is only a very small man, and his world is so shallow and contracted that he will gain very little of those things in life that are really worthwhile. Though he may gain riches, he will not gain the power to appreciate what riches can procure, which is highly important because we can enjoy only that which we can appreciate. And it is only the large, lofty mind that can appreciate the real worth of those things that actually add to the value and joy of life. In minding the business of others, however, we must not meddle or interfere. Each individual is free to do his own work in his own way, but whenever we can improve the conditions that surround the work of the individual, we should count it a privilege to do so. We are our brother's keeper in a certain sense, and we shall find that if we all work in harmony, trying to promote the welfare of each individual, the whole of the race, as well as each part, will be far better off than we all work singly, trying to reach our own selfish goal, regardless of what happens to others. To develop the individual is the supreme purpose, and to give to each individual all that he has earned or produced, no matter how much larger it may be than that of anyone else, is the true principle of justice. But both the development of the individual and his personal gain can be promoted to far greater advantage when he works in harmony with all, trying to add to the welfare of all. The man who cares only for himself may gain the possession of things, but he will lose those elements of mind and soul through which he can enjoy things, and instead of promoting his progress, he will retard it. Selfishness has the tendency to contract. Therefore, the selfish mind becomes smaller and smaller until its capacity both for work and happiness is reduced to nothing. The man, however, who cares for everybody will live in the universal and will enter into harmony with powers that are limitless. He will thereby not only gain possession of more things and better things, but will also gain the conscious appreciation of the finer elements of things. And it is this consciousness that gives true richness and true happiness to life. There is no life that is greater or more beautiful than the life that has lived in the universal. That is, in the highest and deepest sympathetic touch with every person, with every enterprise, and with every ideal. Such a life will expand and develop all the powers of the mind and make man great indeed. And the great mind will attain much, achieve much, gain much, and enjoy much. This universal sympathy, however, must not be sentimental. It must be strong and constructive and must aim not only to add to the welfare of everybody, but also to gather from every source the very best that we can use in our own individual world. It must be a mutual giving and receiving on the largest possible scale. In that manner, everything that comes into life may be as large in quantity as we may desire, and as high in quality as we can appreciate and enjoy. Thus, the present moment will be full and complete, and the greatest gains, both in thoughts and in things, will be realized.